is going on, guys? We are back with another video with the race car 07 GT500 single turbo Coyote Swapped. We are going to be getting ready for FL2K stick shift race. We also have Mod Nationals coming up, so we got to make some changes to the car. It's been hot summer here, really not racing weather. I've seen other Florida-based YouTubers really put a pause on drag racing because the heat is hot and cars don't go fast, cars don't like it. You have a high chance of hurting something in this high heat. It's just not that fun. So we're now getting ready for drag racing season. We want to run an 8 in this car. We know that there's some struggles have definitely been the rear gear ratio, which is a 315. We're gonna bring the car down to my friend Nick at Florida Auto Surgeons. He's gonna throw in a 373 rear gear. So we will finally finish the quarter mile in 4th instead of 3rd. We're gonna put a 28-inch tall tire on the back and see what happens. I'm excited to get this change done. I've been wanting to do it for a while. We also have some other things I want to do in this video. Input output module from Holley, probably nitrous, and overall a once over the car because it's been together for a while, hasn't had any issues. Let's try to prevent any issues. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start it up and head down to Florida Auto Surgeons or Fast Performance. All right, let's get a little cold start in. She hasn't started in a week or so. Give her the old neutral shake. And there we go. Cold start E85. Woo! If you didn't see it in the last video, Cobra is running, coming soon. And we also got a new waffle car coming. Gen 2 Coyote Auto Swapped. Might have some details on that. There we go. Up and running. So we're gonna go drive this over. We've got the gears in the passenger seat. We'll do a quick street drive. This thing's a pretty good street car, so I don't really worry about much. But yeah, let's go ahead and pull it out. Oh man, I can't wait to be stick shift racing this thing again. Also just absolutely love tuning a car at the track. It's a blast. Making some changes, it's a struggle, it's a challenge, but tuning a car at the track to go faster is just, it's the coolest feeling ever. You know, as I struggle with my non-power steering. Oh no. All right, up and operational. Oil pressure, great as always. Running really good. So let's do our quick street cruise. Haven't even turned on the fan yet. Running at 131 water temp. Street car. Ashley following behind in the Tesla. Alright, so I didn't film it, but I dropped it off at Nick's shop, and he got it knocked out super quick. So, if you guys need any gear installs, Fast Performance. So, we got the 373 in here. I'm going to go drive it back. Roads are a little wet. We're just going to chill on the ride back, but this should be some good preparation for going 8s. Should be pretty sweet. All right, guys, so we got the car back from Fast Performance. Sorry, guys, I didn't film anything there. It is very dirty, but 373 gears are installed. I'm gonna go ahead and drop in some footage from the other day when I let Lewis drive the car, and he got to experience it on wastegate, second gear pull. Yep. And then we did a third gear pull with some CO2 turned on, and the thing absolutely rips. All right, full throttle, just be careful, it's a lot more. Ready? Yep. We gotta get the car ready for FL2K. We got some brand new 28 10.5 Mickey Thompson ET drags. These are a really good tire. So while we stepped it up to a 373 gear from a 315, it's pretty aggressive, but we're also gonna step it back down just a hair with a 28 10.5. It's gonna give us a lot of sidewall. This car's best 60 foot, which was a 134-ish, was on a 26-inch Mickey Thompson. So the 26, we run a 27 right now. If you guys kind of understand what that does to your gear calculator and everything, basically the 26 was how the car 60 footed the best. So we're gonna get the 28 10.5 installed. We also have the Holley input-output module that we're also going to be installing on this. So with the Holley Terminator X, you are limited on your input and outputs, but if you go ahead and pick up this module, you can actually add quite a bit of inputs and outputs. And really, I added a rear wheel speed sensor and a front wheel speed sensor, so we can go ahead and do some boost by time, boost by gear, because right now with it being a stick shift, it doesn't know when the run starts because it doesn't know what speed is. It does have a GPS speed, but I haven't been able to integrate that in. So now we have the input output module, so we can make that work, and we can really do a lot of cool things with it. There's potential for putting my nitrous kit that I have laying around on this. I'm not too sure yet because we might no longer have any 60-foot issues now with the 373 gear. So first things first, today we're gonna go ahead, get the tires swapped on. These are bead locks, so they're actually not that bad to swap. And I actually have a tire machine now, which we don't need this to mount the tire, but typically you will need the bead breaker thing here. So that'll help break the bead on the other side so we can get the tires off. So bead locks are pretty cool. Basically, just loosen this outer ring. Again, the car is absolutely filthy, so please ignore wheels, everything. But we're gonna go ahead and break this down and get the new ones mounted up. So I just popped the bead on the other side, but there you go. That's it. That's why we got a tire machine. Well, I can actually mount and dismount tires, but now I can go ahead and basically pull the wheel right out of here because it breaks the bead on the backside. A tire machine is by no means necessary for mounting a tire on a bead lock wheel, but it does make it a lot easier. I just used the clamp thing, get it on there, and then I was able to just slide the other right over. So now, put our bead lock ring on. If the bead lock ring gives me any problems, I can actually use the tire machine to push down on it and help me out a little bit. All right, so what I'm doing here is I'm just basically drawing this in evenly. This 1/4-inch ratchet isn't extremely strong, so we will always go ahead and torque this after we get it together to the manufacturer spec. Basically, by doing the cross pattern, we bring the ring in nice and evenly. And we're just about ready to, I'll go ahead and put air in it, seat the bead before we torque it. And we should be good to go. All right, and there is one completed bead lock, 28 10.5. Now these 10.5s they're kind of a little bit bigger. Maybe I should pull off the Hoosier 10.5 and put these comparison because they're always just a little bit bigger. They're also taller. So that went fairly smoothly. So we're gonna go ahead and knock out the other side. All right, so there's the new Mickey versus the Hoosier. On the surface, it doesn't appear to be much wider, but I think the contact patch is. Obviously, they're taller, this being a 27-inch diameter, 28. So let's go ahead and throw it on and see what it looks like. Pretty sure we should have no issues fitting this 28 10.5. I believe I think we've had a 28 on this car before. I think the welds over there, those are 28s. All right, so we got the 28 10.5s swapped on. looking pretty good. It's gonna look, once this car is nice and cleaned up, ready for FL2K, it's gonna look sweet. 28 10.5s are always just a meaty tire. I actually have some 29 10.5s here that I tried on El Chapo, but they were just too big. But it looks good on a 28. I think our front runners are 26, but I think we should still be good with that. So yeah, 28 10.5 15, brandy new, ready for hopefully some testing before FL2K. It'd be sick to light off an 8-second pass in preparation for FL2K, because that's really what we've been trying to go for. We've gone 9.1 a million times, anywhere from 150 to 158, but we've been lacking really in the 60 foot. I think since I put these Hoosier 27-inch tires, it was just that much of a difference to kill that 60 foot. As soon as we got into the hotter air too, it just turbo fall out of boost. And yeah, so I think that's what we're gonna do for tonight. We'll get into the Holley input output module and a few other tweaks. Still gotta do the oil change. Oh, we need to put a side skirt on this because we lost that again. So our next item on the agenda for the FL2K prep, we're gonna be using this DEI exhaust wrap. We're gonna be wrapping the massive downpipe. So we get inlet air temp off of the MAF sensor. The MAF sensor isn't really a MAF, it's just an intake air temperature sensor. But it seems that on the pass against that Evo, we started pulsing timing. We're seeing 200-degree IATs, but what's concerning, well, 200-degree IATs are concerning, but if you feel this right here, when it was 200 degrees, it was, you could put your hand to it. It wasn't that hot. So more than likely that sensor is absorbing some of that heat, especially wide open throttle. It's just billowing heat all that way and it's heating up that sensor. Another option could be to put the sensor somewhere else in the intake or something like that. But I think we can get some benefits from wrapping this downpipe in here. It's pretty easy to go ahead and pull off. We got a V-band there, and then I think we kind of just slide it out, pop our wideband, cable off, and we'll be good to go. All right, so we got the downpipe off. Next step is gonna be to just pretty much start from there, wrap it down to there. Gonna watch a YouTube video on how to do it. Pretty sure it's not too complicated. I think you just gotta do this right. I think maybe gloves is also a good idea. I heard it's like fiberglass, gets itchy, that kind of thing. Check on the car. I mean, from up here, turbo kit looks great. Turbo's still doing turbo things. This car has been a trooper. So we just need to get some proper maintenance, proper tweaks, and she'll be ready to go back ripping. Still never really finished the exhaust heat shield there, but this is definitely more important to get knocked out. Okay, oil change. Definitely don't do an oil change as often as I should on a race car. Probably only has 120 miles on it, but I can't remember the last time I did an oil change. So, yeah. But in preparation for FL2K, it's definitely a good idea. Get some fresh oil in this thing. This drain plug looks like it's seen a million oil changes, and this is like, I don't know, second or third oil change. Okay, let's see what the oil looks like. I do expect a little bit of milkiness, so we do run E85. Don't expect to see much for like metal or anything like that. Oh, it looks brand new. That's really good. Can you see it on camera? Wow. It looks brand new. For anyone wondering, can you make 1,000 horsepower on a Gen 2 for more than one pass? You can. Wow. That's brand new. I swear I did not do an oil change recently. It's been a really long time. It's really not even watery. I don't see any real metallic flake or anything to it. Well, kids, I don't know who put this on last. It might have been me. It's pretty tight. Can't find any oil filter like socket things that fit around here, or at least it's 15 minutes away. I tried a belt. Can't find any of those Titan oil filter wrenches. I hate doing oil changes, by the way. That's why this, it happens. But this is the old school method. Just watch as I destroy this nice white shirt I got from Joey. And then we make our own oil filter wrench. I was talking about how I didn't make a mess back there. Oh, just wait. All right. If we don't make a mess, I'll be impressed. Oh, oh, oh. It's starting to move.
You're ripping through the filter.
What's that?
You're ripping through the filter.
Yeah, it's like, it's still not really twisting yet. There it goes. Kind of. You know, they should make a ratcheting screwdriver hole poker. You know, because like if I could ratchet this back to here, we'd be golden. I mean, I guess it's one way to drain your oil filter. Okay, this thing is on really tight. I usually like to just kind of hand tighten them on. Oh, look at this. But see, now that I put multiple holes in it, we can kind of...
Pick and choose?
Yeah, kind of. Now that I loosen that up. Didn't get it on my shirt.
Bravo!
But I do have coffee stains on my shirt. Never wear white. It was really a poor decision this morning. Ah, look at that. And that's how you pull a stubborn oil filter. There it is. Make sure she's tight enough, obviously, not leak. So we take our screwdriver, just tap her in there real quick, and then tighten it up and pull the screwdriver out. Then we go get the welder and we weld it up. All right, so oil change is done. Got the downpipe wrapped up. I got zip ties, plastic zip ties holding it there and there. I gotta go get some metal ones so that way we got that nice and held down. Then that should be good to go back in the car. That was actually super easy. That's the DEI exhaust wrap. I'll link it down below on Amazon. It's pretty cheap. Hopefully it works, because basically the theory is that towards the end of that run, the downpipe's just putting out so much heat. It's super soaking this sensor in this pipe, and it was starting to pull timing, because I highly doubt this turbo is putting out 200 plus degrees with the air-to-air intercooler. It's possible, but I kind of doubt that. We still got the Holley input-output module to get knocked out. This is actually pretty easy. It's plug and play. Hook up a few wires, and then I gotta mess around with all my speed sensors and everything there. All right, guys, so input output module for Holley. That's this guy. It comes with pinned out harnesses, so you can go ahead and basically customize, you know, all your different inputs, outputs on here. So it tells you what each individual thing will do. There's a ground we got to hook up as well right there, and then we should be able to finally hook up my speed sensors that I added there and there, so we should finally be able to see vehicle front and rear speed, and I can do a lot of really cool things with that. So I'm gonna read over this and kind of figure out the game plan here, and then I'll let you guys know how it comes out. Wardrobe change. White shirt didn't work out too well. So we got the Terminator X up. Input output modules there. All wires are loose and everything. The Hall effect sensors I have needed a 12 volt input. And then I also had to create a new bracket for the front wheel, like a 90 degree. But now it's working off the stock ABS ring. So when I turn the wheel up there, do you see it? And it seems like it's working pretty well. Get it up to like 10 or so. Just kind of spinning the wheel. So The front is done. Most likely I might have to do the rear, but at least that is done. And as long as the car does a wheelie, I can base boost by speed off of that. I might jack the rear up, but I got a bunch of other things to do. So we'll check back in. All right, guys, so I'm happy to report that we've made some really good progress. Rear wheel speed sensors work. They were actually working without me touching it. So the last time we installed those speed sensors, it seemed like it worked. How I tested it, I had to take the wheels off. These 28s are so big, they actually rub the body when the axle is drooping. I tried jacking up the axle, but it didn't have enough weight to push the axle up. Once it's on the ground, these tires don't rub at all. But front wheel speed sensor, rear wheel speed sensor works. So we're really making some good progress. Downpipe is wrapped, that's gotta go on. Holley input output module is installed. We gotta tidy up some wires, and oil change is done. The tires are changed on and off a few times already, but we are doing really, really good on our FL2K prep. There's some other things on my list, like I was potentially gonna add nitrous. I just don't know if it's gonna be worth it. Well, I mean, it's always worth it, but I don't know if we're gonna need it. The car with 373 should work really well, especially now that I can do boost by speed or boost by time. So I can really, really dial in that boost curve, and I can really hammer it with boost if I need it right off the line. And then I can ramp it up even harder down the back end. So hopefully we can get this on the ground and testing before FL2K, which is next week. It's coming up fast. Doing the best to try to prepare with plenty of time in advance, but luckily we're not really reinventing the wheel. We're just tweaking, you know, tweaking, maintenance, and some little odds and ends. All right, so downpipe is back on and wrapped. Wideband is in, oil change is done. I think the last major step is gonna be to bolt check the car. I usually like to take an adjustable wrench that'll fit on most things, and kind of just go through the car, get a feel for every bolt. If you see something loose, then we'll get the proper tools to obviously tighten it up. But this allows me to go from a lot of your major suspension components, one by one, run it right through the car, and just make sure that this thing is safe, ready to rock. We also got the wiring cleaned up. I do always have this loom here. Our relay board is mounted there. It would definitely be cleaner if I went ahead and moved that pretty much to behind the dash, because then the only loom going backwards would be the body control side. But for now, that's what we're working with, and that's one of the reasons why I haven't tucked this away. It is easy to access everything here and make any necessary changes, but I think that I would like to go ahead and move that behind the dash, because we could basically hide any wires whatsoever. This, of course, USB, hook into the laptop, always stays right there. And we got everything pretty much tucked up. If you look behind here, we'll actually be able to see the Holley input output module. Sits right there. And when you key it on, you can see it blink and that it's active. So works out pretty well. And then we just put our little cover back in place. So we definitely got a lot done in preparation for the race. We're gonna try to get some testing done Thursday, and in preparation for FL2K, now that we can do some really cool things with the boost and boost by speed. So a lot of really cool things coming. All right, guys, so with that said, I think GT500 is ready for FL2K. So, looking pretty good. Oil pressure, looking good, 50 PSI. Air fuel, right on target, 14.5, 14.6. So you can see the heat wrap sticks a little bit out, and that's okay. I want to add more of these metal zip ties. I ordered some better ones, but I think we should be ready. So I know this video is not super action-packed, but there's a lot of work that goes into getting cars ready for the track. So wish us luck. See you at FL2K, and should be a good time.